and I came out when I was 24. I grew up here in Toronto in Etobicoke. I'm Vietnamese Canadian, and I am involved through the LGBTQ community through QAY, ACAS, clubbing, queer people of color events, and through my brother and his friends is how I first met the queer community.
Hi, my name is Catherine, Catherine Lowe. I'm Mauritian Canadian, so I was born in Brampton, Ontario. Pretty suburban existence. Like for most of my life, all I knew was school, church, grocery store, gas station, pretty straightforward. And Kumon, if anyone knows it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, very suburban. I came out when I was 17, and I'm involved with the LGBTQ community through QAY, ACAS, and as well as RAW, which is the Raging Asian Women Members.
My name is Grace. I'm here as a parent. How I'm connected with the LGBT community is through my daughter, actually. And my involvement is actually with ACAS. And ACAS have had many projects and programs in the past many years. I think I got involved with ACAS in 1998. So that has been 18 years that I've been involved with ACAS, whatever that they have been involved in, and I would try to involve whenever I can. And so here I am. I'm very honored and very happy to be invited and to share with you my experience as a parent. Thank you.
Wow, 1998. Yeah, that's the year I came out to my family. Actually, it's the being came out. Yeah, because kind of exposed by my sister. Yeah, at the dinner table, and but my mom, apparently took it quite easy at that night, pretend to be nothing happens and continue our dinner. but apparently she had a struggle. Yeah, and okay, so talking about me, apparently I'm from Hong Kong, and I arrived in Toronto with my husband Guy last year, and still getting used to be here and bracing the cold. It's snowing outside. Yeah, and okay, I just part of the guy.
Well, I have a more complicated history. I was born in Hong Kong too, but I basically grew up in Canada. I lived for the longest time in Montreal. So basically when he was born, I moved to Canada. Wait until he grows up, then I go back and pick him up. Yeah. So I moved back to Hong Kong in 2005. Then we came back together last year. As you know, we got married in 2011. That's about 5.5 years ago. I was not involved at all in any activities before we got married. Okay. I was living in Montreal. I didn't have to hide. I didn't even go to the ghetto or the village too often, or didn't have any gay friends other than my ex. Okay, and so it wasn't really an issue, even at work. Okay, I was out at work, no problem at all. Until I moved back to Hong Kong, then I went back to the closet. No, that's not true. I was never in any closet, and then in Hong Kong, the environment made me feel in a way uncomfortable to be totally out, even though I was already out to my family, and but not actually at work until I started working for a law firm where they had actually their internal LGBT committee in the firm. So then I was out to them, and there was no issue either. And I'm usually a pretty low profile person, but somehow, just because I got married, then everything changed. It's just because we were the same sex. Otherwise, So yeah, since then we had lots of involvement in the community, tried to educate people in Asia, because the film actually went to different places in Asia, in mainland China, Taiwan, and Singapore. Anyway, yeah, so, and this is like a very typical scenario, okay? The film and then the panel discussion. We appeared in also in many magazines, newspaper, even the CBC website, okay? They interviewed us in Hong Kong. So it's actually quite an interesting 5-6 years since we got married. And wait until we have a child. Okay? And,
Yeah, we're going to put a little bit of background story for the film. Actually, as I told Eileen and Cat, the film actually was a project of like a YouTube project, 5 minutes thing, very simple and easy. But when we snowballed it, yes, we have some friends who is a filmmaker, so he put it with many elements and interviews, like officials in Hong Kong, and also you can see she also he's the first gay Asian that got married in Taiwan. So
how many years ago?
well, 20 years ago.
Yeah, one of the pioneers.
Yeah, but actually it's not really marriage, it's just a ceremony, big banquets. But now they're going for the real thing. And so we got the first debates in the Chinese documentary festival to reach the mass public about this issue, because we want to talk about this in a more public platform than just within the LGBT community itself. Yeah. And
The ideal audience.
yeah, and I hope that's and also this time we reach out to ACAS, and again very thanks you with ACAS for organizing this. We want to recreate the dialogue before, because I feel that Chinese community in here is really pretty conservative and ever. So I think maybe a dialogue would help for this.
Yeah, thank you. So just by the way, if anyone has questions, it's open for anyone to ask questions of the film, of the topics that the film covered. Just raise your hand and we have the mic to give to you. I also advise the panel to speak closely to the mic. It's a little cheap.
It's okay?
Yeah, right, that's fine. Yeah, it's a little cheap, so I just have to be really close. But also, while the audience is maybe thinking of questions, could you also, for Grace, Catherine, and Eileen, could you give us any first thoughts you had on what you just watched? Anything that stood out to you from the film or topics?
Yes, there are quite a few things that are really uplifting, very encouraging. And on the other hand, it's also sweet, you know. You see two people were so much in love with each other, and they were so happy to have found each other. You could tell from just little things that they say, little things they do to each other, and the facial expression. It was just a treat to see two people being so happy. The other thing that I was so encouraged and really, as I said, very uplifting was to see the parents, the family. They are so supportive. The relatives or the parents, although your parents were no longer.
Yeah, my father is not.
Yeah, your father was not there, but there was so when you went to visit them, there was something that was so refreshing and it's so real that I cannot believe this is real. It was really happening, and the little talks that you had with each other and in front of your father. There was something so.
There was no script, huh?
No, it was so amazing. It touched me. I was so touched, and I just had a smile on my face when I saw that. It's just so touching and so natural. It's so warm. It's just coming from your heart. So how can you tell me that two men cannot be in love? How can you tell me that same-sex relationship is not is not right. That is wrong. So I guess that would need something much more to convince me that 2 men and 2 women cannot or should not marry. So that's how I felt. And thank you so much for sharing your life with us. Thank you so much. My gratitude. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
That was great.
Thoughts on the film? I also want to say thank you for making this film because for me, I think growing up in Canada, it's generally it was very it shed a lot of light on the difference of what it means to live in a country that is in what the different experience in a country in Asia, and it made me feel so grateful to live in Canada. To feel like I could feel what it must, even just a little bit, to feel what it must feel like to grow up in China and to not feel safe. Maybe because even I did not feel safe growing up in Canada growing up. Even though I guess I was in a very I was in a Catholic school, Catholic church, but I think it's even more so in Asia. Something that really touched me was just whenever I saw you and your families, like I was shedding tears, and it was very surprising to me as well. And when you offered things to your parents that had passed, yeah, it was very touching. Grace said it very well.
Thanks. What resonated with me was how important family support is to have, how much happier it can make someone to have their supportive friends and family. And also at the end, when you were saying your vows to each other, I was getting very teary because I was just picturing myself doing that with Catherine. So that was very touching.
Yeah, keep it for now. Great. Thank you for all that. Is there any questions from the audience so far? Because then I have a few.
I do have a question, and I would like to hear about your opinions. So,
You can't really hear you too well.
okay. So my name is Yu, and I'm a doctoral student from UT Social Work. So I'm from Taiwan originally. So as you may have known that in Taiwan now we are having some very some movement going on, and we want to send the bill for the gay marriage into legislative yuan. And so there is one camp, opposing camp. They are saying that gay marriage is not should not be legalized as the heterosexual couple. So the other version they are proposing is to have a separate law for to recognize, so-called recognize the same-sex relationship. So, but if you remember from the video, from the film, that one professor said change to the policy or regulation should be step by step, should be incremental. So, do you agree that Taiwan now probably we can go for the separate law first and then move to the gay marriage in the end? Would that be a possible or better way instead of trying to push the gay marriage into to be legalized? Yeah.
Well, if you can have a buffet, why would you just order one dish, right? So what I'm saying is that I don't agree that we should have a separate law to handle this case, because what we really want is simply equality. So the same law for everyone. We don't want a different law for different people, right? Otherwise, we basically that would basically mean that we agree that we are not the same. We are not equal. Okay, so to me, that's not the best solution. Okay, but of course, it really depends on how it evolves. Something is better than nothing. Okay, so it's hard to say that okay, we'll take that as a second choice, but we really need to fight for what we really deserve. And it's not like that hasn't happened anywhere else. Taiwan is maybe the first in Asia, but not the first in the world. Okay, and so it's not that it has never been done anywhere else. So I think people in Taiwan should really fight for what they want and the best, not for less. Okay.
For me, it is an election promise in the government party's platform, and also they have the definite advantage in the legislative council. So I think that's their responsibility to pass the law instead of using some different kind of the ways to recognize same-sex relationship. It's simple to me.
As a parent, I would think that a separate set of law for a same-sex relationships do not seem to be right. As you can hear, they want recognition. They want not only acceptance, but the equal right, the equality. If you would set a separate law, yes, clear to say that yes, you are different, you are not the same. But what they are trying to say, the movement is trying to say that I have the same as you are. I have that feelings. I have the same desires. I have that same motivations. I have the same commitment for the people that I love. So why should they be denied that type of life that they deserve? I think it's about time for the rest of the world to recognize that, to embrace that. Other than that, we also need to live in the world. The world, we need to accept the differences, to embrace the differences. The world does not have just one type of individuals. There are, I think, the time for us to open up our mind and open our eyes to see that yes, I think I'm unique, but there are other people who are different, but they are also very unique. We have to recognize that and respect that. And of course, it's not easy. It's easy for us to say that, but if you really put in law, as a conservative country like Taiwan or Hong Kong, not conservative, but the traditions value they see differently. But I think that can be changed too.
Yeah.
It can be changed. It needs a lot of education, a lot of dialogue like this. The public information, inviting parents, inviting different communities to share the experience, to share the insights as to why they should be recognized as equal. I think a well-informed public can be very helpful for the lawmakers to pass the law. I think not just, as you said, I really agree. I'm so happy to see that finally ACAS and these type of issues are really taken out of the closet, really going, because before, I'm sure that so who are the ACAS? Yeah, I've been in ACAS for 18 years, right? So I was involved in ACAS in '98 because of my daughter, and every time when we have something like that, we are in a closed room, we're not in the public, So I always said that why can we have something that in the public, so scream, shout, okay, we are here, look at us. Why cannot you have this opportunity, So I'm so happy that they are these two young men. They have a lot of courage, and they feel so right. They have the conviction. They are not doing it for themselves. I can see that they're not doing it just for themselves. They want the same thing. They want the same thing for other people who want the same thing, the same as you have now, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you would have hard work to do when you return to Taiwan. I guess first of all, I would suggest that a lot of public consultation or interactions or dialogue with different organizations, such as different religious organizations, different communities, different university or educational institutions. So invite those experts to exchange that experience, to compare notes, to exchange better, and to share the real life experience with honesty. I think that would help. It might be a slow process, but I'm sure it will get there. Thank you.
I guess I was thinking about how, back to the other question, relation, how seeing the humanity, like living your daily lives together as a couple, like that is so powerful for a public eye to see. Like sometimes when people say a man and a man getting married, or a woman and a woman getting married, they just hear a gender and a stereotype. But then hearing or seeing like the nuances of daily life together, feeling like the humanity and that, like we're all the same. We all get up in the morning and we all have to pee and like, you know, there's these fine things. It's very interesting. It's those little things you're like, and we all go to work and then we all fall in love and we all, you know, we get hot when it's really sunny. Like there's no, it's very simple things, but it's the same with love. It's the same. There's no difference. And so I think seeing that daily life, those interactions are very powerful, and seeing all those different stories creates such a full-fledged perspective that's well-informed and gives a true reality and it's palpable, and that can create movement. Some more stories.
Good. Okay. So I have one thing. The film, and I can tell from what you've all said, family is very important for all of us. I'm wondering, how do you get family? Like, I guess, yeah, for Catherine and Eileen, how do you have family involved in your relationship? For Guy and Henry, how much did you know each other's family prior to your wedding ceremonies? And for Grace, like, how involved are you in your daughter's same-sex relationships? So we'll start with you two first.
Could you say the one for us?
Okay, so for Eileen and Catherine, how do you involve your families in your relationship?
When we first started getting to know each other and learning about and hearing stories and meeting our parents separately, we discovered that our parents are very similar. My mom is like her dad, quirky, outspoken, and your mom is like my dad, kind of like the quieter, calmer rock of the two. And then so we thought it was a very exciting idea to have them meet, because we think that they could be good friends. So then we had them involved and get together for the first time through a family dinner at a restaurant. We had both our brothers there as support, just in case, as people who could help start conversations if we need to. We brainstormed on what topics of conversations we could bring up during the dinner, just in case. And so things that we thought they would get along and bond over were on immigration and safety, because they would always send us emails separately about things that have to do with watch out for the latest scam, and there's a credit card fraud, and wear sunscreen, and this like a great nutrition facts. So we thought, wow, they're really similar in that way, very safety-minded. So the dinner went well, and then we had another dinner at my parents' house. This time they bonded over discovering they had mutual friends. My mom's first friend in Canada is Catherine's mom's sister. No, your mom's.
My aunt's sister.
Yes. So they bonded over that, and soon after our parents would go play badminton weekly at a local badminton club through your
Mauritian club, yeah. The Mauritian Sports Club.
so then they would play badminton together weekly. So that's how we had our families meet.
Can I follow up with that? Did you have any hesitations about your families meeting each other?
I was very excited for them to meet because it's almost like when you meet someone you think, oh, you would love this person, and it was Eileen's parents, but it's also I felt nervous, like that feeling of, oh, like I hope they get along, and what if there's awkward silences and or things like just the regular, I think, butterflies. Or it was like setting people up on a blind date, like that's how it felt. Yeah, I think that's it.
You okay? Can I continue to Grace? So how much do you know about your daughter's relationships?
Okay. I think when she was growing up as a teenager, I sort of suspected, but I never really have a really good grip of what was happening. Because this particular girl that always came to our house, they were going to the same school together, same high school in the area, and this particular girl always came. And whenever she would come to our house, my daughter, she would behave very differently. It's kind of weird. It's like she would be all brushed, and then she would be very nervous. She appeared to be very nervous or excited. And whenever she called, when she was at home, I would tell her, okay, so and so just called you. She would be so excited. She would run upstairs to close the door and to, of course, to call this girl. And I was kind of wondering, why this particular individual, like why that person is so special. She also had other boys' friends who would come. But I think this particular girl that I kind of suspected, then later I realized that they were actually having a relationship. And so I welcomed, because I always told her since she was a kid, because I didn't want her to go out to hang out with her friends. I always encouraged her to, okay, whenever you're friends, I'm very open. Our house, our door is always open. It's your friends. Whoever is your friends is mommy's friends too. So invite your friends over. So I knew all her friends, right? So they're boys and they're girls. So later I found out that actually they were a support group. Okay, she disclosed that to her school, to a teacher, to the school counselor. And so he would refer her to a support group in the area that we live in. And then actually she had been going to the support group and meeting friends, actually developing her own community in the area. So all the friends that she invited actually is her community. So I like them, I like them, they are happy, they're cute. They're all teenagers, like 13, 14, 15, young. So I like them, I would prepare food for them. I always liked it. And I think there was New Year's Eve, 31st of December. And then she appeared to be very different that day. She seemed to be a bit depressed. And her particular friend did not really, I have not seen her for a few days, not during the Christmas, not during the holiday. So after dinner, she sat me down in the dining room. She said, "Mom, I have something to tell you." And so that was New Year's Eve, and that's how she came up to me. So I know that you might want to know how I accept that and how my reactions were, so forth. But it's not so much as whether or not I accept it or not. It's because I think when she said that to me, I think the first thing that came to my mind, I was worried about her because 18 years ago, Canada is not like now. 18 years ago, Canada was still very much in a closet. Very much in a closet. All the changes, the same-sex marriage, and all the recognition and acceptance in the past many years are the result of the work of many, many individuals in the community who have come together to work very, very hard to start the movement in Toronto. Toronto was the first city who had this movement. And the law passed in 2006. And 1998, so we stopped the movement because my girl came out to me, and I was worried about her. She said to me, as a mom, so every morning when I left the house, when I went to school, I was scared. Because I was so scared that somebody would know who I am. And the kids from school, they can be very mean. I was so afraid that they would know me, and they would know, and they would do something back to me. So, and I was so worried that they would come and tell you who I am. So that's what she said to me, and I knew that what kind of fear, what kind of life that she was living. And it hurts me, other than, it hurts me more than whether or not I would accept her or not. So the first thing that came to my mind was the fear. I was fearful for her. And what can I do as a mother? What can I do? Under such environment in 1998, this issue was still in the closet. What can I do as a mother? I said that it's my love for her. I'm sure that the unconditional love of the mother, of parents, of the family can take it very far, can do a lot. And I guess that's how we started. So my daughter, she also had a youth group in the ACAS. So we also organized an international youth conference. So gathering all the youth from different countries, Asia, to come to this conference to have the first coming out. So I was so blessed, actually, surrounded by all the youth and telling me the stories. And I have a lot of insights from that sharing. So my daughter right now, she lives in Ottawa. She is in a long-term relationship with a woman from Ottawa, and she works for the federal government as an economist. So she is happy there. She will come to visit us from time to time. And my husband and I will go to visit her from time to time. She will come to visit during Christmas from 23rd to 27th to spend Christmas with us. Then we will go to Ottawa to spend the New Year with Julie, that's her partner, as well as Bob, her father, and us. So we will spend the New Year together. So we are family. I don't see there's any difference. And I'm very happy and very proud of her. Because she could have been a very miserable woman. She could have been a very miserable, very unhappy and depressed individual if she was not allowed the opportunity to be recognized. She is also a human being, like all of us. That she has this ability to love and to give. And we have to recognize that and respect that. And I guess, as I said, not as much as I can, whether or not I have a problem accepting her, but I have a problem. How can I get more involved and accept and help in this journey, her journey, and to eradicate the fear in her and the sadness and the pain that her friends suffer that I see with my own eyes. I cannot bear to see that. I cannot bear. And I said to myself, whatever I can do, whatever the opportunity will come along, I will take it. and I would do whatever I can to help. I guess, of course, after 18 years, the story that I'm sharing with you can be very different from the stories that I could have shared with you 18 years ago when it was all in the open between my daughter and myself. But I can also see the changes, how it evolved. It's possible. We can change people's mind with love, with convictions, with the courage, with the honesty, without caring, with a heart. It can change. And not so much whether or not being discriminated but it just opened our mind to see, to recognize. I think that's all I would like to share with you and share with you both. And families is very important. From the very beginning, I always encourage that don't be afraid. I talk to the youth and the young girls and young boys that don't be afraid. Do not estimate the love, the ability of your parents to love you and to help you, to accept you. And I'm very happy to see that now there are more youth and more young people are coming forward, coming up to the parents, have that confidence in themselves, to see the value in themselves. That's encouraging. That is a huge change. We have to give people the confidence, the hope, as each individual, as each human being should have. And I guess, we are here to have that journey with them, with the LGBTQ community. And I'm so happy that, we all can join in the work. So thank you. I think I talked too long.
Oh, thank you. The question for you two was, how much do you know? How much did you know each other's families before your wedding?
Well, actually, we met in late August, and after a month, I first met his family, and it was a family gathering during the Mid-Autumn AKA Mooncake Festival, as you know, and it is organized in a clubhouse, and I thought it's a family gathering, so I think it's like a couple of his family members, aunts and uncles, something like that. But turned out it's like 20-something people of his family members. So yeah, I am kind of like shocked to see so many people in one go. But it rapidly relieved when his grandnephews, yeah. Grandnephews treat me just like a friend, so he was so nice, and so I was relieved, at once. And also I helped out the people, family members to prepare the BBQ, something like that. And we enjoyed a very great night.
Well, I always let my family, or actually my potential partner, to meet my family, to let them take a look and see. Here's my latest hat. Well, no, seriously, it's to me, the family is always a good judge to. Before I actually go too far, I don't have to ask explicitly what do you think. They usually would tell me, and I was quite happy that he performed well that night.
He gave himself.
Well, you see, as he said, that there were at least about 20-something people, like my small family, brothers and sisters, nephews, and brother-in-laws, like the whole gang, and I was happy to see him quite comfortable with the crowd, and got along with almost every one of them. And I can still remember one of my nieces came to me, "Hey, uncle, this one's not bad." Yeah, so to me that's a very good sign, because I can't really imagine that I would be with someone who cannot get along with my family. Okay, so to me it's not like the only criteria, but it's like a big plus, right? Imagine I have to avoid all the gathering just because they don't like him, or the other way around, right? So it's just like to me that's important enough that's particular. Actually, that was also one of the reasons why I asked him to join, just to see if he passed the test, right? And I wasn't with him all night. I let him alone, and I let him sink or swim, right? And that worked out well. And fortunately, in my case, I met his mom more formally.
Especially the first call.
Oh yeah, that was kind of tricky because we went out for dessert one night, and suddenly he got a call from his mom, and then he said, "My mom wants to talk to you." I said, "Oops." At that time, I haven't actually met her yet. I haven't even talked to her. That was the very first time I talked to her. And to my relief, the first thing that she said to me was, "Thank you for taking care of my son." And so that sort of reassured our relationship in a certain way. And sure enough, I took the opportunity and invited her for dinner to meet her more formally. And of course, I picked the favorite food she liked, kind of a decent restaurant, and meet the parent, Yeah. So and it went also very well. And I can imagine, since they're so close to each other, before she met me, she must have heard a lot about me, right? And she could most likely observe the changes in her son. Why is he so happy these days? I'm sure she noticed a lot of different changes. Yeah, so that was basically how we sort of got involved with each other's family. He doesn't have a big family, and I met his sister later on, and that was, of course, pretty easy. But the biggest, challenge was his mom, and that wasn't too bad actually. But to him, I think it was something that he will never forget. To meet 20 people at once and try to, I don't know how difficult it was for him to get along with everyone the very first night. I could tell that he was just being himself. He didn't act or anything. So even though I wasn't with him all night, I was observing.
Blend in naturally. Nicely.
Yeah, he's not a shy person.
because they feels like family to me.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's also like a test from
both
my family.
sides.
Yeah, see how you accept my partner. They have always known that I'm gay, and they've met my other ones too. But this one, they knew that I was more serious about. And I still remember the night I announced that we were going to be married. We went crazy. It's like they were so happy that we actually stayed up all night drinking.
Because I think I just mentioned about my mom. I think Grace would be agreeing on that. Most of the mother's biggest worries is her son and daughter doesn't have anyone to take care with. Yeah, the companionship. And so I also bring my boyfriends to see my mom, but my mom doesn't like every one of them. Yeah, and she still told me, maybe you should get a wife and have a child, something like something like that. But after she met Guy, she stopped. Yeah, she stopped telling me to get a wife.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's a really good sign because she can feel that guys is really seriously to me, and our relationship is not the same as the previous ones, and so she put faith on us, and then
she accepted. Finally,
yeah. And that's why.
I kept telling her, I'll take care of her. Don't worry.
That's what she needs to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. That was great to hear. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I really would love to talk more about like everything, hear everything. But is there any like last things that you wanted to say before we finish for the night and you get a little announcement?
For me, I think passing the law is the most important part for same-sex couples, especially in Asia, because we are facing the very conservative environment, and law could really protect us for the problems if we just prohibit each other in Asia and we got one of them aside. That will be a big problem for the inheritance and also all sorts of those legal problems. And passing the laws should definitely help us to get over those anxiety of the relationships. And also take Canada as a case. The acceptance to same-sex relationships jumps from like 67% to over 80% from the day it passed. So I think it is also a good way to educate people from the law, and also like dialogues, just as Grace said, or like Cat and I said, showing the stories in other cultural way, and think, and also our speech may be helpful to let the people know why should same-sex couples get married. It's legalized.
Yeah, I agree with Henry. Having a law is extremely important. You can just imagine, we go back to 1998, no protection. Can you imagine that you have to live in that kind of society again? And what kind of changes Canada had since then? And so law is extremely important. And through that, there are a lot of benefits. We don't have to count everything. But protection is one of them, and it has a lot of influence in many levels. And so it's really like basic, okay? It's not like an extra thing, okay? This is the minimum that we should have because we're the same.
I remember my daughter, something as simple as going to the hospital or to the doctor, something that we take for granted, like as a family, we have a say in whatever that our family, whether or not you give a consent or whether or not treatment should be provided or stuff. My daughter came to me and said, "Mom, why is it so important? Because now Julie and I, if we would, for any reason, would be in a hospital, in a critical situation, I would not be allowed to have a say in any situations for Julie. And Julie is the same thing, because we are not protected by law. So just a small thing is that we take for granted, for them is such a huge worry. So can you imagine the rest of the other areas of the life that we cannot even imagine?
Yeah, I remember in Hong Kong once Henry had to pretend to be my cousin.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, it was so weird. We're living together, and then when there was the relationship, we couldn't tell them.
Yeah, also government census. We can just be friends. When I input our relationship is couples, I said, same-sex couldn't be married, and I really want to punch the people there.
I think that is the message, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other last thoughts for the night?
Just, I guess, somewhat related. It's funny that we had Eileen and I were hanging out with some of my friends, and they're all straight. And my friend is actually the one who is urging us to get married. She's saying, "Why aren't you married yet?" Like, so she's like a chartered accountant. She's very like the law and rights, and she's very like straightforward, practical, and blunt. She was just like, "Okay, tell me the reason you're not married. You should be married by now." And she's saying, it's so important that we those emergencies, you know, that happen and that can happen, to have those rights, to have those protections, like it's fundamental. It's basic, but it's fundamental. It's a basic right. It's very important.